So let's talk about The White Lotus Season 3, Episode 7. The next one is definitely going to be where we just start getting full on to that finale. 2 episodes after that. And I am definitely thinking like, oh man, we're about to really see some shit, aren't we? So before we get into it, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. I am here to bring you my commentary, my thoughts on The White Lotus. If you don't like it, I'm sorry, but this is just who I am. And if you do and you come back every week, truly appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot. I love seeing all of y'all's comments and conversations. We will definitely do a recap once the finale comes out, and we'll just go over some of y'all's comments and things like that. So make sure you keep commenting. A good old finale party, that's what I want to have. I'm trying to find out how we can do that, because I do want to make a recap video, but I also want to do a finale party live of sorts. Let me know what y'all think about that. But let's get into this next week's episode. The last week's episode, well, this Sunday's episode, was a pretty big one, right? We saw that Timothy keeps spiraling, but he may have found some sort of light in Buddhism, it seems. We did see that Piper and Lochlan are staying at the monastery together. We see Saxon is spiraling because him and his brother got a little too handsy with one another, if you know what I mean. We see Guy Talk finally got his gun back, and we see that Rick is on his way to meet the man he claims killed his father. So let's get into this new trailer that we just got that is sort of alluding that things are about to get darker and crazier. So episode 7, let's get into it. So one of the first things we have to talk about is Timothy is bloody in this trailer right here. He has a white shirt splattered with blood, and I'm just like, oh man, did he do it? But here's the thing, we saw that in the previous episode, Timothy had already been fantasizing about taking himself out, and even at one point taking him and Victoria out. So we could definitely see that this could be another fantasy that Timothy is having as well, right? And I think that he definitely feels some type of way about Victoria, especially when she said that she can't go back to losing everything and being poor and things like that, which is what Timothy believes could be happening, right? Because he is on the verge of potentially losing everything, even going to prison for the things he did with Kenny. So I don't think that this is actual reality, because you can see in the picture it's dark outside, and we know that the whole thing with the body and all of that is during the mornings, and I don't think this is real, but it's going to be interesting to see what this fantasy is that he's having as well. Now, another thing we have to talk about is Lori being with the Russians once again. So we do know that Lori and Jacqueline are in a pretty bad place, and Kate's just in the middle of it, almost ostracized. We've seen Kate sort of be pushed to the background of the friends a lot more now, and we do see Lori and Jacqueline coming head to head, and this has been decades in the making, right? They talk about all of this stemming all the way back in high school in the previous episode. So I think Lori's finally had enough of Jacqueline sort of using her as the butt of the joke and sort of like pushing her to the side, not really witnessing her or feeling that she is an adequate person, right, for Jacqueline's presence. So I think this is why we see that Lori goes to the Muay Thai fights with Valentine and his friends, and it doesn't seem that it's going to end so well, because we do see at one point in the trailer we see Lori running, as you can see. So I've said it before, I think Valentine's up to something. I haven't trusted him since the robbery when he was talking to Guy Talk. He can't really innocent of anything, right? Because he's really pushy with the friends about seeing them, getting them like more under his like thumb of sorts with his friends. So I think that we're gonna see Lori discover something that's gonna like scar her or scare her with these friends, and eventually start running. Are they chasing her, or is she just running away from the situation? I kind of lean more towards just running away from the situation, but we shall see. I do think that Lori and Jacqueline's friendship is definitely going to come to a halt, but knowing them, they might just become friends after a bit. We also will see Mook and Guy Talk finally go on their date that we've been anticipating for a bit. Is Guy Talk and Mook going to be a thing? You would hope that Guy Talk and Mook have a happy ending, but I'm just still not really like there that Mook likes Guy Talk in that way. And I think that that is definitely something we shall see like in the next episode. We'll finally find out, right? Does Mook like Guy Talk in that way, or is Mook just like in his own mind about it? But we shall see. We shall see. There's been theories floating that Mook might not be someone to trust, and I'm curious about those theories. I've seen some people theorize that Guy Talk is just gonna be used by Mook and also Valentine, who are part of like this underground system of them trying to like rob from the hotel and guests and things like that. But we'll see if that is the case or not. Somebody I also didn't trust, who's also going to have a big next episode, is going to be Fabian, who's finally going to sing. I've said it before, I think Fabian is sort of like power money hungry of sorts. He tells Belinda to not mess with Greg and things like that because he has money, doesn't want to call the police when Belinda has her suspicions of Greg. Fabian has something to hide, and I think that's going to be interesting to see what it is, or it might just be a misdirection as well. We also see that Rick is finally going to get his revenge. So a lot of theories have been theorizing as well, and as it's been said in the show, that this is the man who killed Rick's father. Others believe that this is actually Rick's father, and maybe the way he thinks about it is man killed the image of his father because father ran out on him or whatever and came to Thailand. I don't know. That's a big theory, and I kind of like that theory as well because it would really subvert the expectations of what we're expecting this confrontation to be like. But we'll see. We shall see. I really do love Sam Rockwell and Walton Goggins together in these scenes, and I'm curious for the next one because they're going to share a lot more scenes together. Let's move on to the Ratliff siblings because this one's the ones that's getting the most jaw-dropping responses from me and everybody else, because we saw at the end of the last episode that Saxon's not really feeling what happened between him and Lochlan, and we heard that they got handsy with one another. They didn't even know that that was happening because of the drugs and everything they had taken. But we saw that Lochlan started to come to the realization, and we also saw that Saxon was told by Chloe this did indeed happen. So that's why we see them drift apart in episode 6. But in episode 7, we see that Lochlan's trying to get close to Piper now. And this scene right here has me thinking, is Lochlan going to try and hit on Piper now? Like, what the fuck moment again? Lochlan seems to be the one who is sort of like, I'm starting to raise an eyebrow to Lochlan about what he's doing and how he's maneuvering himself around, and I'm starting to think that Saxon may not be as crazy and as weird as we all thought, because he seems to be spiraling from everything that happened. But we shall see. They are at the monastery. It looks like Lochlan might be telling Piper what happened with Saxon, and I'm curious to see how Piper responds to this and what exactly Lochlan thinks of it as well after all is said and done. But the biggest thing that is going to be happening in the next episode is Greg's party. As we know, Greg told Chloe to invite as many people as she can to this party, and he also invited Belinda and Zion, her son, and I'm just curious what is going to happen. I'm very much interested if Gary or Greg, whatever you want to call him, is trying to offer Belinda hush money, like, hey, you know, you want to open that salon and everything, I can help you, let's leave everything in the past, Tanya's gone, we don't need to talk about this anymore. So that's what I think Greg's ultimate plan is, and he's just trying to sort of do it in a way where it doesn't seem suspicious, inviting all of these people. They're just there, right? They're all there to party, and maybe he's there to get into some business ventures, but we shall see. Belinda, be careful. But next episode should be interesting. Let me know your thoughts, your theories. I really truly believe that we are going to see Belinda go to the party, and I think that that's where the confrontation with Greg is going to stem from, but I don't think anything's going to happen that night. I think that, of course, it's going to happen until the next night, and I think that we will see that Gary is going to try to hush Belinda. I think he is going to try to tell her, like, hey, you keep quiet about everything that happened and what you know, and you'll be fine. You'll have your spa, you can go at porn chai, whatever, and it's going to be cool. It's going to be dandy. I think that with the Ratliff siblings, I think Piper is going to find it very odd what Lochlan and Saxon did, and I think Lochlan is going to feel conflicted about it because he is a little bit worried and is thinking about what he did with Saxon, and I think he's just going to be more like, do I need to feel worried or bad about what happened? And, you know, I think it's going to be a weird thing. It's going to be crazy, and we're definitely going to be here to see it. Does Timothy ultimately go to jail and everything in the next coming episodes? I truly believe he might definitely, and I think that's going to cause Victoria to crash out. Who is the body? We don't know yet, but my theories are going that Victoria might be the one pulling the trigger now, because it seems that she is over the edge almost, and I think she just needs one final push to push her towards that edge. I think Victoria has been sort of in the background of sorts for a long time now. She has had her moments when she stands out, but for the most part, other characters have gotten the spotlight, and I think these next 2 episodes are going to be Victoria, because we get to know more about her, how she feels about money and power and all of that. And if somebody gets all of that like rug pulled from them, I could only imagine how crazy Victoria will get when she realizes that Timothy indeed is losing everything they've had, and she might just have to go to a past life that she doesn't want to have. So very interesting next episodes. Let me know what you think about the trailer, what you think about everything that's been happening, and what possibly could happen in the last 2 episodes as well. Comment it down below. And as always, that is going to do it for me. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We are on the road to 40,000 subscribers, less than 2,000 to go for that. Make sure you check us out wherever you can, and I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.